Hi guys, it's me, Tekknowgerl, Angie. uh, I'm getting ready to do my walk, and um, it's kind of, let's say it's 8:48. I had planned on getting out at 9, but then I said, why am I just standing around here waiting? I can go. So let's go. It's a pretty dog. Alaskan Husky, I think they call him. Alright, so it started already. Okay, well let's hope that why is this thing doing that? Okay. So, today is a regular day. It was kind of chilly out here too. So, what I think I'm gonna do is, let's see, we can walk. I guess we can walk up to Woodley, huh? You guys know I'm waiting because that dog is ahead of me. And I want him to be gone. So, no, I didn't walk yesterday. And that was because I had to get my groceries and stuff. You know, I like to do all that stuff early. And I don't know, I figured after the groceries got there, I figured I would walk in the afternoon, and then I forgot all about it. So, don't have to worry about that. But I'm out here today, so we will, do our walk. I still haven't decided about being on base walking. I know that, well, when I thought about it, it occurred to me that, those coyotes and dogs, I guess, all animals pretty much, but specifically these coyotes, they probably can sense when there's activity on the base. And, I'm thinking they probably won't be out if there are a lot of, cars and people walking around. Pardon me. So that's something that I'm going to have to consider, when I'm all scared to walk on base and everything. So, yeah, there's that. So I hope you guys are doing okay. Let me know in the comments below what's going on in your life. Your New Year's resolutions. I know a lot of people make them. I haven't made any because, quite frankly, if I'm going to promise to do something, I'm not going to wait till the beginning of the year to do it. Um, I'll just, turn it into, how they do on on YouTube, make it a challenge, which is, what I did for, the wedding challenge that I'm doing for Brittany. Well, it's for myself, but Brittany is the reason, her wedding is the reason that it's the motivation to get me to do it. So, what I've decided to reincorporate in my life is I'm going to do the plankster, which is that machine that Brittany got me for Christmas last year, or the year before last. And I started off, it was, I think it was supposed to be 3 minutes a day. Now, when I first made the challenge, I hadn't done a plankster exercise. I hadn't used the machine yet. Well, it's not really a machine. It's more like an apparatus, I guess you could call it. But you can look it up online, and you can, see what it looks like. And I think they have a couple of videos on YouTube that, they show themselves using, the apparatus. So that would, that'll give you an idea of, what it is that I'm doing when I say I'm doing the plankster. But it's the plank exercise, and basically what you're doing is you're using this apparatus to play a game while you're doing the exercise. And so it helps you with not only strengthening your core, but you get some, I think the side of your stomach or the side of your body, I think those are obliques. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you get to work those too, because the machine is kind of like the game that you play on the machine, it's like Space Invaders. If you remember that video game, it's kind of like that. So getting kind of warm. The sun is out. So I'm excited about getting started on that. I did some yesterday, but as I was getting ready to start saying, I thought I would be able to do 3 minutes because it's only 3 minutes, right? Well, honey, let me tell you, 3 minutes is a long time when you're using that, when you're doing a plank period. But using a machine, you're not just doing a plank. You're actually working all those muscles, which is a little bit different than the plank when you're using the plankster. So, I'm kind of, it's intimidating to me. So, sorry about that. So, every time I look at it, oh my goodness, let me slow down. I'm gonna pull over right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to pull over because I guess I started at a good pace, but it's not a good pace when you got a long way to go. So, yeah, share with me, you guys, what your New Year's resolutions are. I can think of a couple of things that I can resolve to do. One is learning to listen. Now, I know I don't have friends, or, I don't really talk to anybody but you guys. And then, my occasional bump into a neighbor. But I don't really talk to them. I just, kind of say good morning or hi or good afternoon or whatever. And then I keep it pushing. But, when I do engage in conversation with folks, I want to know how to listen. I was watching this thing on TED Talks, and the lady was saying that most people listen so they can speak, or they're not really listening, they're just waiting to speak. So they're not really hearing what the person that they're talking to is saying, because they already know what they want to say when that person stops talking. So I'm thinking, like, maybe that's what I do. I don't know. I have to get into a conversation with somebody to really see. Shucks. Forgot what I was gonna say. Let me stop. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I hope you guys can see that. It's a bush with, looks like little red flowers or berries on it. It looks very Christmassy, even though we've already finished with Christmas. So that's that. So yeah, listening, or learning how to listen, or the art of listening. And let's think. I wonder. So I was talking about yesterday. Not yesterday, but the last time we talked, I was thinking, I don't have to know how to listen when I do my videos, because you guys are listening to me. That's why it's called the walk and talk morning. So, I was thinking, how can I, well, thank you for the comments, first of all. I didn't know if folks would still be interested in watching my videos, because I had, broken off for like 2 weeks or so. Oh man, this hill's, oh child. But I was glad to get the couple of comments that I did get. Team Mojo, I wanted to say, I remember that guy Benjamin Bennett. I don't remember if I responded to your comment last night, but I remember the sitting and smiling guy. Now, we know what's interesting about him is that he's got so many subscribers, and people following him on YouTube, and his videos are like 4 hours long, and he would just sit there and smile in the camera for 4 hours. And I thought to myself, wow, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. He doesn't talk or anything. He just sits there smiling, which is kind of creepy when you think about it. But then he started doing the walking and talking videos. And his videos, I don't know if I say they're more engaging, but he talks about stuff. He talks about just weird shit. I can never follow him along because, I didn't go to college. Well, let's just say I didn't finish college. He gets into these like deep conversations. When, his topics, whatever he's talking about. And, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And then, I realized that, I spend all of his walking and talking videos trying to figure out what he's talking about. So I stopped watching him. But one thing I do want to do is I want to, check him out again and see if he's made any recent videos, because I have to have a dictionary in front of me to even watch his videos. I'm listening to this commentator on my phone. It's telling me how far I've walked and everything. And he's making these little jokes. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to get off topic. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to visit his channel and see if he's made any recent videos and see if I can keep up with what he's talking about. So, I was telling you guys in my last video that this neighborhood is predominantly Filipinos. So, when I'm walking out, well, y'all know that I'll say good morning to folks, and that's just my way. I always acknowledge another person. But sometimes I don't get acknowledged back, and it makes me feel a certain type of way. And that's been all my life. I always take it personal. Like, well, what did I do to you? Why are you not speaking to me? So I take it personal. And, I'm working on that. Trying to not take it so personal. I'm not able to differentiate between, taking it personal and, differentiate is not a good word. I always take it personal. That's it and that's all. So what I've done is lately I've just been avoiding speaking to people. I still speak, but I'm already prepared for them not to acknowledge me. So I don't even know. Sometimes I speak, sometimes I don't. If I'm in the middle of talking with you guys, then quite naturally I don't just speak. That little old lady, I spoke to her because I've spoken to her before, and she always smiles and acknowledges me, which, is all I'm really expecting when I speak to folks. And even if you don't speak the same language verbally, a smile is universal. So when you acknowledge someone um, with a smile, generally, if they're a normal person, they will smile back. So that's what I'm expecting. Uh, I don't know if you guys remember the crazy Korean lady. Um, Last year, was it? Yeah, last year. Um, she wasn't really stalking me, but I had seen her a couple of times, and she would see me and do this weird shit. Like, stand there with her arms folded until I passed by. And one time, she followed behind me after I passed her with her little arms folded and shit. She started walking behind me, and she even went so far as to get in the street walking behind me, whatever that was supposed to accomplish. And I remember saying to you guys that I had my stick gripped in my hand. I think I put it in my dominant hand, just in case she decided she wanted to try to do something to me. I was gonna beat her with my stick. It never came to that, but my point is, that's the kind of shit that makes me not, scared to walk. Well, even this morning, I was trying to sleep in, and then I started thinking, well, I ain't gonna walk. Anybody gonna watch my videos? And then I thought, I reminded myself, that's not why you're walking. And then I also reminded myself that I got this new software, and if I'm not using it, I've wasted my money. So that made me get up. Pardon me. Oh. I was talking about the TED Talks videos. You know what? I don't even know how I came. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. There's a YouTuber. Her name is Stacy Flowers, and she has a YouTube channel. I'm not exactly sure what her purpose is. Sometimes she cooks. She does these grocery hauls. I'm not sure what her channel is all about, but she had done a TED Talks, video, and on her channel, she told us to go and check it out. And that's how I started watching the TED Talks videos. And you can find some really good subjects that these folks get up on stage and talk about it. So I'm gonna have to stop up here. When we walked on Monday, we only went, to Haskell and to the vet center and then back. And I didn't walk very fast. So, I didn't have to stop when I did the walk on Monday. But today's a little bit further, and I'm having to stop and catch my breath and rest my legs, which proves that I have gotten further out of shape than I was when I was walking consistently. So continue to give me encouragement. to motivate me to get out. Because oftentimes, when I'm in the bed or just sleeping, wondering whether I should get up, um, I'll remember some of the comments that you guys put down there, and that helps me to yeah, get up, get up, get out here and do this. So thanks for that. Uh, Pardon me. I was going to go down and meet my case manager. She wasn't there on Monday, so I guess it was a holiday, but I'm not in the mood today, for her to, because what they do is they come in brand new, the case managers, I mean, they come in brand new, oh goodness, and they make all these promises, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'm here to help, and blah, 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 blah. And, in 3 to 6 months, they're gone. Because remember, I told you guys that, they get these folks from college. They're always somebody who just got out of college, and they want to be a social worker or whatever they went to school for, and so they'll use this this particular base to bring the new guys in. Now the company, the organization is called New Directions, and I'm not saying that they use this base in particular. They use all of them because New Directions is over the program that brought us vets in here in the first place. And so what New Directions does is they seek out veterans who have, for whatever reason, become homeless or displaced. And so, they'll go around the shelters, and they even go to, for example, downtown Los Angeles, to the missions and all those different places, looking for veterans, who are indigent, I guess is the word. And basically, they get you in here, they process you and find you, get you an apartment in here. And then they begin to work with you to help you get whatever benefits, military VA benefits that you are qualified for. A lot of these veterans, they have benefits that are due them, but because they're homeless or whatever, they are not able to tap into those resources. And so what this company does is they'll bring you into this housing and assign you. Now the case managers here they're like a liaison, so they get you in touch with another veteran or another VA administration person to help you get your benefits. They'll process you and do all that. Now the VA is way, way, way behind. So, you might have come in here in 2015, like me, and you might not get your benefits until 2021. But they do give you housing until that happens. So, most of the time the veterans will get their benefits, and they have this system where they determine how much money is due you based on the percentage of your injury. Most of us have been injured in some way, whether it be mentally or physically. whatever the injury is, the military determines what percentage of benefits you're available, that are due to you. Um, so we can say, for example, there's this one guy, I forget his name. I think it was Kenny, or something like Kenny, Kenneth. Um, they found him to be 100% disabled. So with the 100%, um, basically means that you're going to get benefits for the rest of your life from the VA due to your injury. Now, he had brain surgery, and he'll tell you all about it, which is pretty gross to me. But he's got these stitches in the back of his head, and he'll tell you all about what they did or whatever. But he was 100%. Well, he was 100%. I forget what the term is, but he was 100%. And so he had been here for 5 years. So what they did was, when they do kick in your benefits, you get retroactive pay. So what they determined 100%, they gave him 5 years worth of benefits that he was entitled to because of from the time that he applied. And then after you get all that lump sum of money, then you start getting your monthly stipend or benefit thing. So he moved out, and let me get back in here. He moved out, and he had enough money to purchase a house. So that gives you like an idea of how much retroactive pay these guys get, guys or girls. They just recently started bringing in women where I live, and I was one of the first women in here. So, I think it was Susan was already here, and then me, and morning, Susan, then me, and then I think Victoria came in, and then I stopped meeting folks because, not that there were too many people coming in, but you guys know I stick to myself. And so, only time I would see people is if I'm going to check my mail, or if I have to go down and see my case manager or whatever. So, because there are so few women here, basically, this man is driving his car with the alarm going off. How long do you think he's gonna be able to do that? That's some weird ass shit. Yeah, it's a man. But I don't know if he just stole the car and then his license plate says Dr. Shine. If this is South Central Los Angeles, he wouldn't be able to get too far driving like that. Oh, it stopped. But he wouldn't be able to get too far driving like that because the police would pull his ass over. Anyway, so what I was saying was, New Directions is like a liaison between the person when they first get in contact with them, and then they put them with a representative of the Veterans Administration, and then basically their job is done. While the person is living here, and I'll use me as an example, they get you in touch with resources other than the VA that you might need. Now they have in building 200 or building 20. In building 20, they have a pantry. So, vets get here and they don't have a source of income when they first get here. And so they make available to those vets uh, the food pantry, which is everything's free, and the the New Directions person also helps them get whatever kind of benefits that you would be entitled to um, while you're waiting for your veterans benefits. For example, me, when I first got here, I had a job actually, and I was living in the shelter. But the problem was that I was sick. I found out I was sick with a congestive heart failure, and I wasn't able to work anymore. So um, they moved me here. Obviously, I couldn't keep my job because I was sick and I was kind of far away. My job was in Pasadena, and they had moved me here. This is North Hills, which is in the San Fernando Valley, about 30 or 40 miles away from Pasadena. And so basically, they helped me get my disability benefits that were due me because of my illness. I couldn't work anymore, and the doctor had put me out on disability. And so my case manager helped me get my Social Security Administration, which is basically my federal medical benefits, disability. And so after that, they got me in touch with my VA representative, who was then processing my VA benefits, which are still pending. Now, that was in 2015. So, about 5 years ago. Well, not 5 years ago. I got here in October 2015. So, it'll be 5 years in October. So basically, that's what they do. They provide one-on-one services. They do these individual service plans, I think like every 3 to 6 months. They have activities like, this, whenever the Super Bowl is, they're going to have some kind of function where everybody gets together and they're going to go watch the Super Bowl. And they do movies every one Thursday in the month. I think it's the last Thursday of the month. They do birthday celebrations, which is usually at the end of the month. Whoever had a birthday in that month, they have a little special something for them. And really anything else that you may need help with. I remember I needed help with, another thing that they do is because these buildings here that are residential, they are HUD buildings. Well, it's urban housing and development, something like that, but it's lower income, not lower income, lower rent. So based on what you make or what your income is, your rent will be a percentage of whatever the total rent is in the building. For example, my rent, my apartment is I think $1,200 and something a month, but I only pay a percentage of that, and then the government pays the rest. So $1,200, I may pay $350 a month. I'm not going to tell you guys how much I pay, but let's just say $350 a month. So I pay the $350. I'm responsible for the $350, and then the government will pay the rest of that amount, so that it all equals 12 whatever hundred a month. And they do that all month, all year basically, and then once a year they recertify you, see if your income changed, or whatever your status is. If anything changes, then they make changes based on you know, whatever your changes are, they'll make changes as a result of that. So your rent may go up, it may go down based on your income. And your social worker, well, your case manager will help you with that. And the same goes for the building, which is another certification that happens. Basically the same procedure, but it's for the building. When I say the building, it's owned and not owned, it's managed by John Stewart Company, and they also do a certification. So you get the HUD, which is the government assistance, paying, you know, the half of your rent or whatever. They do theirs based on when you applied. I applied in July for them. So every July I have to recertify with the government. And then every October is when I have to recertify with John Stewart, because remember I told you I moved here in October. So every October I have to recertify. Okay, I think I've talked to you guys enough. Let's go inside. I should have been walking that whole time. But I'll remember that tomorrow. Alright, so we got our stick. We got all our stuff. Glad I don't have to clean. I did some cleaning yesterday. So all I have to do now is just get in here and get back on my, well, I gotta get my video on, so that's that. Again, walk a little bit longer than I had intended on. Laying loose. Got a lot of kids. Alright, you guys, look, I'm doing my puzzle. I had to hurry up and get in here because I thought that I saw Brad, that's our fix-it guy. I thought that I saw his cart out there, but then as I'm walking, I see what looks to be a locksmith at Joseph's apartment. I hope he didn't get evicted. You know, there are a lot of guys here that are, like I told you, waiting for their veterans benefits to kick in, and a great number of them have drug addiction problems. And, you know, they get here, they get comfortable, and then they start their drugs again. And sometimes they'll end up, you know, leaving here, and then they never get their benefits. And there are, you know, there's some people here that, you know, that do drugs. For example, this one guy, they found his apartment to be a meth lab or something. So, of course, he had to go. But anyway, look, we can talk more about that if you're interested. Ask me in the comments below, and I'll tell you all about it. So that's it for our walk today. Thanks for you guys coming along with me, and I'll go ahead and get this started, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!